Hello, and welcome to another episode of Insightful Conversations, where we explore real life stories of the One Health, international development, and the people making a difference around the world. I'm Noubia Gribi-Hussain, agriculture economist and founder and CEO of We Empower. Today, I'm joined by Dr. Mushtaq Memon, Professor Emeritus at Washington State University and President of Livestock at We Empower. Mushtaq has spent many years working with communities and livestock farmers worldwide. So, welcome, Mushtaq.
Thank you, Nubia. It's always a pleasure to share these experiences. Today, I'm glad we'll be talking about Cambodia, where I was assigned to strengthen veterinary reproduction teaching and practice at the newly established veterinary faculty as a part of broader capacity building efforts in the country.
Excellent. So, Mushtaq, for our listeners who may not be familiar, would you mind tell us a little bit if Cambodia is located in East Asia?
Not exactly. Cambodia is the Southeast Asia, part of region's mainland section. It borders with Thailand, Laos, and Vietnam, and its capital is Phnom Penh.
Excellent. Thank you. So, what first attracted you to Cambodia and how did you become involved there?
Well, as a high school student back in 60s, in fact, I remember hearing about Cambodia in relation to the Vietnam War. But my professional connections came later through the Feed the Future Innovation Lab for Livestock Systems at the University of Florida. As you may recall, Nubia, We Empower was awarded a project, and the assignment was for me to help students in Cambodia. You played a key role in coordinating my visit as a consultant to the Faculty of Veterinary Medicine at Royal University of Agriculture in Phnom Penh.
Exactly. For our listeners actually, could you walk us through the main objectives of the assignment, Mushtaq, and tell us whether those goals were ultimately achieved?
Sure. Well, the primary goal was to strengthen veterinary reproduction teaching and practice, and more broadly, to build institutional capacity. To start, I designed a new syllabus while at Washington State University and circulated it for the feedback. I received more suggestions than I expected. For instance, several colleagues emphasized the need to include swine reproduction, which was not a major focus of my earlier teaching. To be honest, I had limited hands-on experience with pigs, but after reviewing current literature and practical methods, I felt confident teaching the fundamentals to the trainees.
Oh, wow, sounds good. So, Mushtaq, what kind of participant attended your training?
Well, the university selected about 30 participants in this training. Mostly were graduate students who were working on master's degree, with a few from government livestock department and some faculty members. Most spoke English quite well, though a few senior participants needed some help for translating from English to Cambodian language. Two young reproduction instructors were especially helpful throughout the course, both during lectures as well as hands-on sessions. I involved them as assistant instructors, and I'm still in touch with them today.
Excellent. Well, Mushtaq, you're well known for emphasizing hands-on learning. Were the participants able to get practical experience as well? You usually do that.
Absolutely. We began with classroom sessions on reproductive physiology and common reproductive disorders, then moved to laboratory and field practice. We used the reproductive tracts collected from local slaughterhouse, cattle, and pigs to demonstrate anatomy and common pathologies. Later, participants practiced techniques such as artificial insemination and pregnancy diagnosis on university owned cows. I was impressed to see several specimens from cows and sows, which are female pigs, as you know, showing real reproductive problems, which made for excellent teaching examples.
How interesting. Mushtaq, did you also cover small ruminant like sheep and goats or even horses? Because I know you do that a lot.
Yes, I included some material on sheep and goats, horses, and even pet animal reproduction in my lectures. However, during my syllabus discussions, the local faculty requested greater emphasis on swine reproduction, so we shifted focus accordingly. The university also had a small teaching hospital providing treatment for dogs and cats, which added an interesting companion animal dimension to the training.
Oh, that's fascinating. So, do Cambodians generally keep pet dogs and cats at home? Just very curious.
I'm glad you asked that, Nubia. Pet ownership in Cambodia, as in many developing countries, has two sides. A small number of wealthier families keep pets for companionship, but most people show kindness to animals from a Buddhist cultural perspective in Cambodia. Buddhists often feed and care of even stray dogs and cats. During my visit, luckily, World Vets, which is a Seattle, United States-based NGO, where I serve on the board, they had organized a free spay and neuter clinic in Siem Reap. Siem Reap is a city where it's very well known for tourists and 1 hour about flight from Phnom Penh. So the clinic was staffed by volunteer veterinarians and technicians from the United States and supported by international donors. I invited the two young reproduction instructors, which I mentioned earlier, to join me to visit there. And to my pleasant surprise, the team leader of that spay and neuter clinic or camp was one of my former students from Washington State University. So this connection gave the Cambodian instructors valuable surgical training and exposure to global veterinary collaboration.
Oh, wow. That must have been a remarkable experience for them, wasn't it?
Yes, they were absolutely thrilled, eager to return and share what they learned with their own students. I would encourage our listeners to check out the short video linked here, which captures the highlights of the trip and training activities in Cambodia.
Thank you, Mushtaq. Thank you very much for sharing this inspiring story of education, collaboration, and compassion. And to our listeners, thank you for joining us. Please subscribe to our channel and tune in for the next episode of Insightful Conversations. Until then, take care and talk to you soon.